You'll find the latest in home innovations and experts to handle your dream projects. Admission is just $10, and children 12 and under are free. For more information, visit the Home and Garden Show online at hbal.org.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Letting your child know you believe in them will go a long way towards making a dream a reality. I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. It's important to celebrate learning, focus on the positives, and reinforce good effort and determination. Children need your encouragement and support. Nebraska public school teachers want every student to succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome into the LIBA Business Hour, sponsored by Nats to Tassili, highlighting local independent businesses in and around Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, LIBA Executive Director Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And good morning. You're listening to the LIBA Business Hour. I am Travis Filing, and with us today is Mark Whitehead of UStop Oil. You've been with us a handful of times, but we've never gone through the interview process.
You and I have never done the interview process. Previous ED and I have, in fact, I was one of the first guests that he had.
Okay.
But you're right. You and I have never had a conversation on my discipline.
Yeah, we've come in and we've talked Christmas and we've talked sports and we've I think you've been on 4 or 5 of our shows, but you have not been interviewed. So today we're going to talk UStop and we're going to talk Whitehead Oil and just talk about how the whole thing started. And I kind of learned a few things that surprised me as I was reading through your website and looking through your background and your dad. Now your dad started Whitehead Oil, right?
Yes.
Okay.
1959. We're celebrating 66 years this year. And so that since our primary fuel supplier is Phillips 66, it's kind of a milestone that we like to recognize.
Yeah, and 66 is not usually a milestone, a celebratory number. It's kind of an obscure number, but for you, how cool is that?
When it's out there in the street corner, it's relevant.
That's right. The thing I think that blew me away the most was to learn that your dad, Bus, was drafted by the NBA, but played professional basketball. Now, was that before? It had to be before he started Whitehead Oil, right?
Oh, yes. But actually, the roots for Phillips 66 go fairly deep. My grandmother's brother went to school at KU and took a summer job in straight south of Lawrence and ended up loving it so much that he went ahead and dropped out of school. And he had taken a job with Phillips 66 and in its infancy and was actually befriended by Frank Phillips and became the first president and chairman of the board of Phillips 66 after Frank Phillips himself.
How cool is that?
And so that's kind of a cool deal. But so cool. That was my grandmother's brother, and so my grandfather was a Phillips salesman and was associated with it, and so my dad was certainly very familiar with Phillips 66. He came to Lincoln to play basketball. Was pretty good at it, and in fact the 48-49 season, 49-50 season, those 2 seasons we either won or tied the conference title.
Oh, how cool is that?
And unfortunately, that's the last time we won the regular season. That's of the records of his records that got broke through the years. That's one that he really wished would have been broken, obviously. But back then, this is pre-television,
right?
So you got to understand that the same characteristics that made a great competitor on the basketball court made a great corporate executive trainee.
Oh yeah.
And so organizations like Caterpillar, Chevrolet, those sort of organizations had AAU basketball teams, and Phillips had an AAU basketball team. And so my dad went to Bartlesville and became a sales trainee. And 3 months out of the year, barnstormed the Phillips marketing area and played basketball for their AAU team. And had tremendous charisma and was very good at sales. In fact, he only played for about 2 or 3 years, but then he came on up to the Lincoln area, and Lincoln and Hastings area, and was a sales rep, and he was Salesman of the Year 2 years in a row.
Oh, wow.
And so what's interesting about that is if in fact you're going for that as a goal, it's instinctive that you would pad 1 year over the other. But when you do it 2 years in a row, that's padding is not allowed.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
So-
you can see all the pictures if you go in the corporate office. I was looking at them the other day. I stopped in to get a gift certificate. We got a lot of great pictures of them up there, and it's a nice, sweet office.
Yeah,
I love it.
and the team was the Phillips 66ers, right?
Right.
Which is so cool because if you
Yeah.
if you know a lot of sports history, that's how most of these sports teams got started. Because like the Green Bay Packers, it was a meat packing plant, I think, in Green Bay, and that's where they brought in all the
Seriously, I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
love
And
it.
Green Bay is like this teeny tiny town.
Yeah.
It's not half the size of Lincoln, but
So
you bring in the heavyweights and they
Yeah.
played ball.
So his goal was always to be a petroleum marketer, and he wanted to do it in Lincoln in the worst way. And one a marketership was not available. There were several people that had a Phillips contract in the Lincoln market, but they weren't for sale. And Phillips had a distribution center, and they had enough confidence in him. They sold him the Phillips direct operation in Lincoln, and that was his beginning. And they stuck the tank. So for his very first day, he was about as nervous as he could be. And they stuck the tank, which is say the inventory of the product, and said, "All right, you're in
good to go.
business.
Good luck. Go start schlepping."
He was a 29-year-old young man, and he just stepped back for a second, and he said, "Now what do I do?" And every entrepreneur kind of goes through that uneasiness at one time or another. But the business that he ran, it's in the same building we're in today, but where our receptionist is, right in the front,
Okay.
was our entire office.
Okay.
And we had about six people there, and then plus his office was where I sit today, and so it was the company he ran bears absolutely no resemblance to the one we run today, and I think you could say that for any 5-year interval, if you will. The evolution of business continues to change,
Certainly.
and you stay at. That's a beautiful thing about the free enterprise system.
Yeah.
Is that you're constantly trying to figure out how to differentiate yourself from your competition. And obviously the competition is trying to do the same thing to you.
Yeah. Adapt and move forward.
Well, my daughter lives out there off of Warlick on right across from the casino in those new apartments. So she loves the U-Stop right there because it has a great market.
And
I mean, she can run over if she needs something for a recipe she doesn't have. You probably, usually have it over there. You have the car wash. I mean, it's just kind of an everything little space. It's nice. Way different from a gas station in the 60s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Quite a bit.
Well, and it's
Yeah.
funny because I was driving, I always drive down 77. And when that first started going in, I saw the big flag because you always know the huge American
Yep,
flag.
there it is.
That's a U-Stop. And then I finally one day had to pull in there to get gas. I was blown away. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a monster. It's
Right.
huge and beautiful.
And the little
Really
cafe
cool.
there is great food.
We do things a little bit differently than an awful lot of people in that we don't have a prototype per se. We try to build a facility that meets the needs of the area that the facility's in. And
Makes sense.
we started it with a location you're very familiar with in Hickman.
Mm-hmm.
Was a brand new tangent that we did where we started selling groceries in a convenience store, and the community of Hickman had an incredibly tired grocery store in downtown.
Yeah.
Jack and
Oh,
Joe's,
yeah.
and we thought we could do better, and so we put in a small grocery alternative in there, and the community has embraced us as well as we could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
There so we did that there. The city fathers of Tecumseh saw that location, and city manager called us and said, "We need that same facility in Tecumseh," and we brushed it off because it's a unique opportunity in Hickman, and didn't know how many other places we could replicate it. And so we took a look at the market. They had a much stronger alternative for grocery, but nonetheless, still a little tired. And again, that we thought we could do better, and we negotiated a deal. And it is far and away our largest facility, and has got a much broader grocery alternative
In Tecumseh?
Okay. And we've got a Dairy Queen. We've got a Dairy Queen associated with that location, and we've had an awful lot of fun putting that project together as well. So every one of our locations is going to be a little bit different in that we try to fit the needs of the area. We saw that grocery would be an alternative out at Amaranth there by the casino on West Denton Road, because I think an awful lot of people view Highway 77 as a little bit of a speed bump or a little bit of a barrier for people. So anybody living west of that, if we could become a fill-in grocery alternative, maybe not their main grocery shop, but if that $30 to $50 grocery stop between their main ones, then we can fill that need.
I always said a great little place to open, which is exactly what now these gas stations and your stations do, is milk, eggs, and bread. How many times when the kids were little was it like, we're out of milk, go get milk, we're out of bread? It's nice for a stop like that too, just to get those few things. You know, if you work downtown and you take Rosa Parks out to 77 and head south out there by the casino, you're not passing any grocery store or anything. So if you need a few items, it's just handy to have that. My mom lives in the townhouses just south of Fiserv there, 14th and Old Cheney. And so that's great for her too, to just buzz over really quick and get something. She doesn't have to go into town.
Well, and
smart.
When you look at little communities, because I live in Panama, right? Let me tell you, there ain't nothing in Panama, right? And there's nothing relatively close to Panama, but the closest to us is either a corner stop, which doesn't have anything, or U-Stop, which has everything that I need.
Yep.
And so I can't tell you how many times it's hey, run over there and get some sour cream, or get a gallon of milk, or a loaf of bread, or, whatever it is that we need. Boom. It's right there. It's so easy. And it's really one of those where, and I remember when it was a small, just a little corner, basic convenience store, which was handy. But then when the new location came up, it's like, this fills the needs for a lot of small communities down there that we desperately need, because there is nothing for miles. I mean, you literally had to go to Lincoln until you opened up that store. And
we had to change our mindset completely, because you would think that the similarities between operating both different concepts of business would be somewhat similar, but they're significantly different. Wholesalers specifically, we deal with Amcon out of Omaha as our grocery wholesaler, and we're able to buy small quantities of grocery items, and all the candy bars and the small hanging bags and all the rest of that, and they're a tremendous supplier. But if we were going to be a grocery alternative, when you are able to buy only a few bottles of ketchup at a time, the price point is restrictive.
Sure.
So people aren't going to pay $9 for a bottle of ketchup if we want to be a grocery alternative. So we approached Affiliated Foods, they have $10,000 minimum drops for their deliveries, and they did not want to take us on. And we just kept persisting because they could not visualize that they could fill our needs. And so we finally talked them into it, and they came in, and we were going to buy everything from them to meet their minimums, because that would make sense. And they're so much bigger than Amcon, and it's a huge organization. And of course, they're not now, they're AWG, but that's neither here nor there. But one of the things we realized early on I had this huge respect for because of their size, but they don't know diddly squat about the convenience store business.
Yeah.
And why would they?
Yeah.
And why would they? So, the feel that we were looking for in Hickman is as you walk through the front door, you look to the left, it looks very much like a convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
You look to the right, it looks very much like a grocery store. So we wanted to develop that hybrid.
And the one
to it. And the one thing on affiliated foods or AWG is they don't do the small hanging bags. Grocery stores don't do the small little hanging bags.
Sure.
We need that small hanging bag. So
yeah.
We ended up carrying both suppliers.
The one thing that made me, kind of nervous as a business owner, you walk into this, it's a mini grocery store,
sure,
but it has so many things that are perishable, like fruits and apples and whatnot. And I thought, gosh, this is great, because my house, we do eat a lot of apples. It doesn't look like we eat much fruit, but we actually do. And I thought, oh man, I wonder how long. And that had to be nerve-wracking as a business owner to go, yeah, let's get some perishables in here because people want it. But at the same time, it's got a shelf life.
It is incredibly difficult. And we've got people within our organization that specifically focus on our grocery items. And that is one of the, I'd say far and away our biggest challenge, rotating the meat, rotating the produce through.
Sure.
And because you want the highest quality, and you've got to sell enough of it that you can get the inventory turns and do that. Now that we have a couple of grocery sets within the system, we will dispatch to different stores. Now, our Amaranth location does not, the casino location does not sell the groceries that Hickman does. We take deliveries from AWG at Hickman, and we will redispatch different things. So, one of the cases in point with my grocery guy, I said, we've been out of bags of potatoes for a long time. Over at Amaranth, we need to get that in. And we don't sell very much of it. And I said, you need to get some in. So rather than getting a whole case of potatoes, we bring over 2 to 4 bags.
Sure.
And able to rotate them through. And with several locations doing this, we're able to meet those needs.
And so now you have, I think, is it 40 total locations? I think that's right.
40 total locations.
Okay.
And 39 convenience stores. And then we have a U-Stop Liquor up in Kansas. Down in Kansas, rather. And so they've got a little bit different liquor laws down there. So, and that's an area that will probably expand in Kansas because, again, the laws are different.
Yeah. Well, and if I lived in Kansas, I'd drink a lot too. So, so now I'm kidding.
That hurts.
Ouch.
So now, if of your 40 locations, how many of them have some sort of grocery concept beyond a typical convenience store?
I would say 6 to 8.
Okay. So as you start expanding into that, and I assume you're going to continue to expand in that.
Where it makes sense.
Yeah. And it probably gets easier and easier to buy perishables and be able to buy larger quantities and keep that competitive, because I was surprised how competitive your pricing is, because when you typically go to a small town grocery store, it can be expensive.
Sure.
And as I go through there, we actually get a lot of groceries down there at your shop because the pricing is reasonable. It's very competitive.
Nobody owes us a living. And we've got to measure the market where we're at, not only in terms of the products that we carry, but the price points and how we deliver it. And we've talked about Hickman. Same time we opened up the new store, Dollar General, right across the street opened up. And they're very good at what they do. And we had to benchmark our price points off of that alternative.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be a better alternative, we got to give them our customer the rationale to choose us over them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was another thing I was going to talk about is, it's competition. Welcome to the capitalist society. that's the nature of it. It's competition. We have to keep each other in check. And I got nervous when that store came in, because when Dollar General came in, that's when Jack and Jill went out, because now you have 3 options, and they had a tough time staying competitive because they were a full-on grocery store, and it got to a point where, it got to be they couldn't compete with the pricing of everywhere else, and it no longer became convenient because they couldn't compete.
Right.
And you always feel bad when you see a business go out, but at the same time, when you go to a store and I can save $10 just going over to UStop, then, well, $10 looks better in my pocket than it does in anybody else's.
Yeah. Also, when you mentioned that every 5 years things change, right, in business, if you're not adapting and changing to the market and what the market wants every 5 years, some of those more tired stores just were not doing that. It was the same old, and that same routine is not going to work today. Inconvenience is a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to spend a little bit more if I can go to 2 spots right by each other as opposed to driving clear across town because somebody has ketchup that I want for $1 less.
Right.
It's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I want family time. I've been working all day. Convenience is the ticket for everyone. I think it's a huge thing.
It's so funny you say that, because my father-in-law was the guy who, when back in the day when we all got the newspaper, and I think it was on Wednesday, right? All the sales came out,
Right.
all the deals came out.
Yeah.
And this cat, God bless him, he would zigzag this town, picking up his 99-cent 6-packs over here and his $1 a pound apples over there. And I said, how much is this costing you in gas and time?
This is my mom.
Is it really?
Well, we always tease that, Mom, it's not worth it to drive Omaha because you're saving 5 cents on a gallon of milk. I mean, we'll bring you one. But she grew up through the Depression. I mean, that's an entire generation that is thankful for everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's those days are kind of gone a little bit, really. I mean, it's like more about the convenience, actually.
Yeah.
I think people are trying to balance out life. You work all day. Do you really want to drive 6 miles across town because they're having great sales today, and then drive back home? You get home at 6:30. Don't feed the kids till 7:15. Your day's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does the consumer measure value?
Yeah.
That's
exactly it.
That's a trick of it. But the lens that I view the world, especially the business world, it can be best described by some volunteer stuff I do with Junior Achievement. And I have the opportunity of a couple of times to go speak to high school classes, their economics JA class. And first question I love to ask on this group is, what's the purpose of business? And typically little Bobby would raise his hand and say, well, to make money. I said, who here agrees with Bobby? And everybody raises their hand. I said, all right. And you got to remember, this is an elective class. So everybody there's got a little bit of a business focus.
Yeah.
But I said, all right, how many in here would, by the time you're 30, want to own your own business? Over half the hands go up. I said, why is it statistically only about 3 to 4% of you will achieve that goal? Why is it statistically 50% of businesses fail in the first year? 95% of businesses are no longer around after 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because they didn't want to make money? No. These are people that have given up their day job, mortgaged their homes, put their life and soul into trying to chase the American dream, and only 50% of them survived the first year out. Now, the key to business is to create value for the customer, right?
Mm-hmm.
To deliver that product or that service that people will forsake all other alternatives to purchase, and that is not easy to do. Now, Warren Buffett is credited with, as he loves talking about enterprise and Nebraska Furniture Mart, and those is great examples. And he comments, he's never seen a business that delights the customer fail.
Yeah.
And I disagree with the sage from Omaha a little bit, only in that I could delight the heck out of people by selling gasoline for $1.75 a gallon.
Right. I'm in with that. I'm down with that.
I'm in for some delight today. That will be from 10 to 11. Where?
I would not be in business very long. So it's still you still have to figure out how to make money.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a delicate balancing act. Well, we got a break coming up here, so we're going to send it to that. And then when you come back, I have a handful of more questions. We're talking with Mark Whitehead of Whitehead Oil, and you're listening to 93.7 The Ticket and the LIBA Business Hour.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. The end of season clearance is going on now with up to 50% off. Stop in now for best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coat, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fierce Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fierce Cheese Spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Ascend Aesthetics.
And you're listening to the LIBA Business Hour. In today with Mark Whitehead of U-Stop Oil. I know words. I do. Whitehead Oil and U-Stop Convenience Store. There we go. And one question that one observation, and this is typical of business, it's all about competition and offering people what they want. As convenience stores started moving into grocery items, then you started seeing grocery stores moving into gas.
Yeah.
And was that something that, was a big concern? Did that take a big chunk out of your business? And how did you adapt to moving into, to compete against that?
Actually, the broader concept is big box stores, and that's been around since the early '90s. Walmart, Sam's Club,
right?
Those people started getting into this business and did it early. Our average ticket for a convenience store is a little under $10, or right at about $10 in terms of what they buy inside the store.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about a big box store, they saw value in fuel, in that every one of their customers needs fuel. They buy it about once a week. And oh, by the way, they're trying to get them into their stores about once a week.
Exactly.
And so it is a great loss leader item for them to be able to offer the fuel and as an enticement to get them in the lot. And oh, by the way, our average ticket is $10. Their average ticket is over $200.
Yeah.
And so that is it is a challenge. There's no question. And grocery stores have started doing that, and as of the last 10, 15 years, but very similar concept.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where it always gets nerve-wracking. I remember I was talking with the CEO of the dog food company. Anyway, I was talking to him, and they offer a premium type product. And I said, why don't you guys? You walk into Walmart or whatever else, and you see bags of Old Roy or whatever their low grade dog. I said, do you see that as an opportunity and go after it? And he said, no, absolutely not. We want to stick in our category. But then again, it's like, boy, there's money sitting there, it's such a delicate balance. And I look at, again, you look at Walmart, they're making these small stores in small towns. And it's like, whoa, man, the competition is just fierce. And
immensely fierce. And you and I come at this from a LIBA perspective, for a free enterprise perspective. One of the fun things that we do is a scholarship that LIBA puts out every year, and I've had the opportunity to review the resumes from these students, and invariably they instinctively know what we are looking for and try to craft their resume to what their perception is, but instinctively to every application, they always have a but or but this or but that, and their but is that it is not fair that a Walmart is able to buy in such huge quantities, and small mom and pop locations cannot compete with them. and that playing field needs to be leveled out and to make it fair for everybody competing. And the reality is, and I'd love that for that to be the case, being a small business owner, but the reality is, customer doesn't care,
right?
And they're looking for the best value, and if the best value is bulk items or cheap items in a big box store, that is what it is, and we need to figure out how to counterbalance that and how to deal with that. It has nothing to do with fairness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And I would think it has an awful lot to do with knowing your consumer. Who is your consumer? Why are they coming into your place? Why are they buying from you and not someone else? Okay, so I shop at the grocery store where I get, apparently, discount on gas all the time. And one time the checker was like, "Oh my gosh, you have 35 cents off of a gallon of gas." And I'm like, "Well, I just filled up at U-Stop yesterday because it was where I needed gas when my car said you need gas."
Yeah, when the light went on.
So I never use that sort of a thing. I get that there people are, but there's a lot of us. When I say us, me, I'm more convenience. Right. I mean, I fill my day. I'm going 90 miles an hour all day long. I want to have home time, like I mentioned earlier. So for me, it is all about convenience. I can find U-Stops, small mom pop shops all across town. I'm not going to drive clear out to Timbuktu because they're going to give me 5 cents off a gallon.
Exactly.
I'm not going to do it. First off, I didn't know they did that for years. I'm like, oh, I can get money off my gas, whatever. It's not for me. But then you're going to have the type of person that's going to sit at home and cut coupons out all day on Tuesday and go to the store and get $200 worth of groceries for $5 and save on. They are going to do that.
Yeah.
I just think you meet your consumer where they are and know who they are. That's the most important thing, I think, knowing your consumer. You need to meet them where their needs are, right? I mean, unless you win a huge lot, you're probably not going to open up U-Stops all across the country, right? But you're opening them up strategically in communities that need what you have to offer.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most important things.
When it's funny because you also have, because the three of us are all business owners, and you don't just have one consumer, you have buckets of consumers. And I remember when, I sold radio for 10 years, and being in a car constantly and driving, zigzagging Lincoln and going to Omaha and whatever else, convenience was a factor. But you know what the biggest factor for me was? A clean bathroom. Because if you don't have a clean bathroom, I mean, there are stores that I've gone into where, my goodness, POW camps probably have cleaner bathrooms than some. But I would always end up going to, if I saw the big flag, I'm in because I know the bathroom's clean.
Right.
Don't care if gas is 2 cents more expensive or cheaper. Never even looked.
Yeah.
Don't care if you have bread, don't have bread. Never. I'm here for a clean bathroom. So you have all these buckets of consumers that you have to keep pleasing, so it's again, it's part of that balancing act, that juggling act, to try and do the best you can in several different categories, all while keeping an eye on your competitors. To try and figure out what they're doing, just so you can stay at the forefront and keep your business moving forward. Doesn't business ownership sound like fun, kids?
It is complicated. We divide our business into two very broad categories: items we sell inside the store and the fuel. Fuel represents about 80% of our revenue, 80 to 85% of our revenue, but only about 15 to 20% of our profit. And the reverse is true for inside.
Exactly.
And so a Snickers bar, you set the price on a bar of Snickers and you forget it. You might review it once a year or whenever our wholesaler makes a change. And we don't worry too much if our wholesaler has gone up on price on a Snickers bar. We adjust the retail to reflect that, and don't think too much about it.
But and margin stays the same.
Yeah. And margin stays pretty much the same. Fuel, on the other hand, there isn't a product on the retail market more visible than the price of a gallon of gas.
That's true.
It's out there on every street corner.
Yep, every street corner.
And it's a product that everybody needs, and they need it every single week. It's news stories on the news, what the price of fuel is here and there, and it is incredibly complicated. And we do price surveys twice a day, every single day.
Wow.
And, we have to be competitive. We have to be the best alternative for our customers on the street, and we analyze that pricing strategy and figure out how to position ourselves in the market. And we've got to be competitive. Are we always going to be the lowest? No, but we're going to match the key competitors in our market and remain that best alternative. We've got significant number of locations. We think the quality of the locations are good, and we sell the highest quality of fuel available, top tier gasoline. In fact, we exceed top tier standards on fuel by threefold.
Wow!
And
interesting.
So we the combination of all that, we think that's a strong value proposition. Competitively priced, highest quality fuel, clean, neat locations. And so we put that out there on our as our value proposition. And the other side, in terms of the pricing side of it, I'll do my sales pitch here, which you've heard 87 times. But
do you want me to give it for you?
But Phillips has got an app called the Fuel Forward app.
Love this app.
And so what the consumer does is they drive in, pull up the app on their phone, identify the dispenser that they're at. It'll reach out from the front seat of your car and authorize the dispenser right there. You just, as a consumer, have to get out of your car and pick up the nozzle. You don't have to go through 16 different screens. You don't have to take your payment method out of your wallet. Your receipt gets emailed to yourself automatically. It's an incredible saving, and it can't get skimmed because your payment information does not leave your phone. So Phillips stacks loyalty on top of it. They give you a nickel just for using the app. And so you put on your favorite credit card with it, and they'll roll the price back a nickel a gallon. If you're willing to do direct pay out of your checking account, just identify your bank and your routing, or your bank and your account number. They'll roll. They add another nickel to that. That's 10 cents a gallon. If you're willing to do a Phillips credit card, which is a no-fee card, not another piece of plastic for junk up your wallet, they'll do another nickel. So that's 15-cent rollback every single time you come in.
That's awesome. It's what? Convenient.
Yeah.
That's super convenient.
That's what I love.
When it is 10 degrees below zero out and you can sit in your car and do all of that before you get out, just grab the pump and put it in the car. That's huge.
So
I'm passionate about it. In fact, I get teased. We have a new vice president of operations, and we were down in Kansas last night for dinner, and they give me, a small group of us, they give me such a hard time because I never stop promoting this thing. The waitress there, I'll put the full court press on the waitress.
Why not?
In the bar, and more times than not, they're pretty amazing. If they're not amazed, then at least they're doing a good job of acting, just to try to get me to shut up.
I'm like this in my real estate business. So one of the clients I'm working with right now was my nurse when I had surgery December 4th. Yeah, I'm just like, I was really high on oxycodone, but I got a new client just because I talked about what I do, and people like people. You need to just be out there and talking. And
well, here's the story that I've been sharing with people because the app really saved my bacon. My wife calls me up one day, and she was sitting at a U-stop, and she needed gas and realized she left her purse at home. Wah, wah. I go, well, do you have the app? The fuel, it's Fuel Forward, right? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
The Fuel Forward app. And she goes, no. I've been telling her to download this dang app for I don't know how long.
Of course.
And so then now I'm either going to have to get in the car and drive over there and wave the credit card. And I go, okay, download the app. And I pulled out my credit card and I gave her all the information and walked her through. And then she set up the app, and then boom, you don't even need to leave your wallet at home. You're cool.
Yeah.
And if you're anything like my wife, I think my wife was surprised the first time she saw the fuel light in the car go off. I didn't think she knew that light went on and off. She just lives in the light is on all the time zone, but yeah, it's an incredible app. And I love to sit there, and do the whole dial in your pump. And then I look over and I wait to watch those prices go down. Dunk, 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 dunk. And I know it's time to get out and fuel.
Yep, there you go.
So we have a break coming up, one more, and on the backside, we're going to talk a little bit more about Whitehead Oil. And did I do it? I got it right. Whitehead Oil and U-Stop convenience stores.
Actually, our name on the street is U-Stop, so we really
We'll just
don't
call
care
it
how
U-Stop.
many. Yeah, we don't care how many people know about Whitehead Oil Company, really, because frankly, what they see is U-Stop.
There you go. You're listening to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll be right back.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Ready to spruce up your space? No matter what project is on your list, you can check it off at the Nebraska Builders Home and Garden Show, February 7th through the 9th at the Sandhills Global Events Center. With over 200 businesses under one roof, you'll find the latest in home innovations and experts to handle your dream projects. Admission is just $10, and children 12 and under are free. For more information, visit the Home and Garden Show online at hbal.org.
Ever wonder what it's like to work for a company that actually cares? At Lincoln Industries, they're revolutionizing local manufacturing while taking care of their most valuable asset, their people. When you join their team, you'll enjoy comprehensive health coverage, wellness initiatives that work around your life, and benefits that show they're serious about your future. Plus, you'll be a part of a proud manufacturing tradition right here in the community. Don't just take their word for it. Visit LincolnIndustries.com to see all their current opportunities and find out why their people love calling Lincoln Industries home.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Sports Show! The 56th Annual Boat Sport and Travel Show is bigger and better than ever. January 31st to February 2nd at the Sandhills Global Events Center in Lincoln. Don't miss it. Sports Show!
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagee sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
Since discovering Limitless Mail, thousands of men have changed their lives. They've experienced more energy, sharper thinking, fat loss, muscle gain, and a boost in sex appeal. Men are loving life again, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. Wives, kids, even coworkers are seeing the difference. Limitless Mail is a guy changer. We provide custom treatment plans to ensure both safety and maximum benefits. Don't settle for cookie-cutter solutions. Limitless Mail is the powerhouse in men's health. Schedule your free consult.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years. And I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by U-Stop and Whitehead Oil.
And we're back with the last segment of the LIBA Business Hour. We're talking with Mark Whitehead from U-Stop. And one thing that I want to cover, in our last segment is customer service. That's one of those things when I think of convenience stores. There are three businesses, well, now two, because one of them got bought out and the customer service went away. But people who have great customer service in a convenience store, that's got to be tough. I think of U-Stop, your people. Most of the interaction I have with going inside, because I very rarely go inside unless I'm picking up a loaf of bread or something. But your people in the store are great. There was another store, it was up in Omaha called Buc-ee's. And the other one is a Buc-ee's that's down in Texas and down south. They're not anywhere close, but they always had great customer service, and it sticks out in your mind that these people do a fantastic job. Actually make me feel like they're not miserable,
Exactly.
And so how tough is it to get people and to get them to have that high level of energy and be excited to be at work? Because that's a struggle for all business owners.
It is a struggle, and you've got to remember that the most important people that are the face of our organization are the entry level associates that are working behind the counter, and it's one of the first jobs in many cases that they've had, and instinctively, they may not instinctively know some of the principles that I've grown up with my entire life. I'm painting really broad brushstrokes. I think of customer service from three broad perspectives. First of all, every customer that comes in across that threshold into your store has chosen you over every other alternative out there in the marketplace. So the ante to play the game is to meet the customer expectations. They came in with a preconceived idea of what they would be getting when they chose our location over any other. We've got to meet those expectations. The next tier, the next level is to exceed those expectations. And to the extent that we can exceed those expectations, that they were looking for X, if we can give them X squared, then they become a much more dedicated employee than just simply meeting it. And the cream of the crop, the highest level is a transformational experience. Now, you know something about that because your wife's and your company is called Transformation Marketing. And the way I describe that is it's not exceeding expectations. It's giving them something they had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
A whole different level. And two examples that I would give, you two are both old enough to remember BlackBerry.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, and so people were looking for a cell phone, but BlackBerry came out with this handheld computer.
Right. It was
even had the keyboard on it.
Oh, yeah.
They even had the keyboard. So they weren't looking for a computer. They were looking for a cell phone, and they gave them a computer you could actually hold. It was a serious device for serious business people.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the way they put them, and they absolutely dominated the market. But the next phase from that, just when you think you have things figured out, is when you're in the biggest trouble. Then of course came Apple.
Yeah.
With the iPhone, and BlackBerry went away almost as quickly as they came up.
Yeah, almost overnight.
Yeah, they were here today, gone tomorrow.
And a whole different concept. An app. what the heck is an app?
Yeah.
And at the time, again, people were looking for a cell phone, and you got not only a handheld computer, but an app that can, well, we described, of course, Fuel Forward app, but it's just transformed expectations dramatically.
Truly.
And that is a transformational experience. It's an experience that goes beyond anything they even expected, and just delivering a value that is beyond what they even came in to expect. And we strive, that's the epitome. We strive in some cases to, not only exceed expectations, but give them an experience that they may not even had expected.
Yeah.
Our two newest locations, we do free vacuums in the back of our store, and it's a more convenient way to access the store from the back of the store. They weren't expecting that.
Yeah.
You don't expect a free vacuum, industrial grade vacuum, and or easy access, and again, try to figure out different ways to continue to differentiate, and that's the epitome.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, you don't get to choose whether or not it's been a transformational experience. The customer is the one that will tell you whether or not it was transformational.
Well, when you can provide something that somebody doesn't even know they need, and then they're like, "Oh, dang!" Just like,
how did I
Apple,
ever live
all of a
without
sudden,
this?
Right, here's this or whatever. That's the key. And being able to change and adapt and modify to the markets, that's real important. That's, I think, my takeaway from what you talked about today, where you basically say every 5 years you need to be looking at your models, are meeting your consumer needs, are we still convenient? All of those things that you have to look at every 5 years. That's what keeps your company from becoming an old, stale, whatever, or that you're locked in the past. Because I can remember business owners, when I would speak publicly in the floral industry across the country, the number of retail florists that would come up and say, "Oh, my grandpa and grandma started this business 80 years ago. Oh, and then I bought it from my parents 5 years ago. So it's third generation. And we're just stuck in a rut, and we're not." And it's like, doing the same thing over and over is the definition of insanity if it's not working, right?
Yep.
So I think that ability to pivot is huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
The company we run today bears no resemblance to what my father founded, and should my daughters or whoever the next generation is going to be that follows me, will bear no resemblance to the company we run today.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Well, I hear the music, so that means we're out of time. Go download the Fuel Forward app. Just do yourself a favor, and it's not just for U-Stops. Phillips 66 nationwide. You can go anywhere and use the Fuel Forward app. So find it, download it. You'll thank me later. You're listening to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket. Mark, thanks for coming in and talking to us.
Travis, thank you. I enjoyed it a great deal.
All right.
Yeah,
see you next week.
Thanks.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions